Hey, cousins. Hope all is well. Thank you for joining me today. Listen, we've got a lot to talk about. I have something to tell you guys, to inform you about that's going to help you be safer on your next cruise. Let's talk about it. Let's go. Okay, so I'm going to get right into it because this is so important. I just got off of Royal Caribbean's Jewel of the Seas. Had a great sailing for my mom's birthday, and we will be showing you some of that as well down the road. Took a lot of content, but I need to tell you what happened. It's very concerning. One day when I was out on the balcony, just reading crosswords, chilling, I hear this, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. I look over, and so my neighbors that were about 3 cabins down, there was a gentleman hanging over the edge because my balcony was an extended one. We had a junior suite, so it was a larger, it extended out. So it wasn't in line with the rest of the balconies per usual. So I was pretty visible. And he said, excuse me, I'm sorry, we need some help. We are locked out. We're stuck on our balcony. And I said, I'm sorry? He said, we can't get back into the cabin. We're locked out. We're stuck on the balcony. And immediately my mouth just dropped, like, because I couldn't believe that. And so I said, okay. He said, could you call somebody? I said, of course. So I went to call housekeeping. They were on their break. They break between 1 and 4. No one even answered the phone. And then I ran back out and I said, okay, housekeeping isn't answering. I'm going to go and see who I can find. And so I go out into the hall and I'm like, I found a maintenance worker. He told me to call maintenance. So look how that worked out. Gave me the direct extension. Of course, I could have called guest services, just so that if you're new to cruising, there is a guest services department and they do know everything. But I was trying to get them immediate help. And so I went back into the room and I called and they said they were coming right away. I went back out to the balcony to relay that message, to say, hey, they're on the way. And I'm going to go wait in the hall to make sure that they do come expeditiously, which I did because I didn't want them to be stuck out there for a long time. So I was going to call again if nobody showed up within the next 5 or 10 minutes. But someone came, I saw him let himself into their cabin, and then I went back in and ran and I said, they're coming. So they got back in okay. And so when this happened, I thought it was really odd. I was like, this is weird. The Jewel of the Seas is an older ship, so I figured that something in the mechanisms of the sliding glass door must have malfunctioned until, yeah, it happened again. I'm going to tell you. The last night of the cruise, it was almost 10 o'clock p.m. And I know because I was at the last minute packing up all my last minute items to put the luggage out into the hall. So those of you who cruise, that if you do choose to handle to use the luggage assist, I should say, it has to be out in the hall by a certain time. So this ship was by 10 p.m. And so I'm standing by the glass door because I had put my luggage on top of a table and just rearranging some things, getting ready to close it up. And I hear this, hello, hello, hello. And at first I thought it was a television, but it just sounded like it was behind me. But the only thing behind me was the balcony. I had the door cracked just a little bit. And I turned around and I'm like, my first thought was there's somebody on our balcony because that's how loud it was. It sounded like it was right there. So I go and I peer through, and to my left I can see my neighbor on his balcony hanging over, and I slide the door open. I'm like, hello. And he said, can you help me? I'm locked out and I'm stuck on my balcony. I was floored, guys. I was blown away. I could not believe this happened twice on the same floor. And so once again, I helped somebody out. He happened to have his key card on him. So he said, Do you mind, please, if I give you the card, just, come into my cabin and let me in? I said, of course. So through the little opening, through the two balconies, he gave me the card. I went in, let him in. And I'm like saying to myself, this is craziness. And he was so grateful. He was like, I'm married, but can I give you a hug? And I said, you know what? I'm married too, but yes, it's okay. And he was just so grateful to get out of there. Um, and I don't know what's going on. He mentioned that a friend of his, the same thing happened. So now, okay, I'm like, this is an issue. This is a problem. And it's a safety concern. It's a horrible, horrible thing to happen, to be stuck out on the balcony, especially it's getting late at night. Um, and I'm sure that it feels scary. And I think that's why he wanted to give me a hug and just thank me. And then the couple that was down the hall, 3 cabins that I called so they could get out of their situation, they left me a wonderful, beautiful thank you note, just thanking me for helping them. And so to me, I'm thinking this is what anybody should do for a call for help, whether we're black, white, purple, whatever color, brown, yellow, we should all be helping each other. And the appreciation and the notes and the love that was shown just reminded me, guys, that we should still have hope in humanity. Do not lose hope, okay? So, what I want to leave you with today is please be careful when you travel. I've been on about 30 cruises. Almost all of them had a balcony room. Went out on the balcony. My husband and I spend so much time on the balcony. We love it. That's why we get it. We close the door all the time. We have never ever been locked out of our cabin, ever. So I know Royal Caribbean, that jewel of the seas, she is old. She is showing her age. She is just a lot of wear and tear. This is something you really need to get fixed. This is something that you need to take care of before somebody's child or somebody who's just mentally incapable or anything like that. Somebody could go out there and faint and just can't. Anything can happen. You need to fix this. Now, I did hear through an employee when we exited the ship, she happened to mention that the Jewel of the Seas will soon be going into dry dock. I don't know when. I don't know if it's true, to be refurbished. Please, 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 Royal Caribbean, make sure that you take a look into this. I did tell both parties that I helped that they need to report it, they need to complain, and they need to do it loudly, and I'm happy to help them. And I do plan to take this forward. I do plan to put this in writing in the feedback when Royal Caribbean sends their survey, if there is an option to do so for some kind of free-form comments. So I just want to leave you cousins with this. Please be careful. Pay attention. I don't anticipate this happening. I don't know. Is this something that you knew about? Maybe I'm late to the game, but this totally, totally blew me away. God allows things to happen for a reason. And so I would be remiss if I did not report this and let you guys, make you guys aware of it, especially before you board the Jewel of the Seas. No shade, Royal Caribbean. I'm still loyal to Royal, but you really, really, really need to take care of this. I want all of my cousins out there to enjoy their cruises. I don't want anything to happen to anybody. So has this happened to you? Have you heard about it? Let me know, and then what can we do about it as a collective to keep the cruisers safe? Thanks for listening, cousins. Please stay safe, enjoy your next cruise, and God bless.